So we got 20 decks, 29 different dining options. We got 22 bars and lounges. We got 3 swimming pools, a little bit over 3 football fields long. And it's all gonna be ours for 2027, February 21st through the 28th. Rhythm and Soul Festival Cruise. This is Deck Talk. So welcome to the episode 2, week 51. We are 51 weeks away from the Rhythm and Soul Festival Cruise 2027. This is Deck Talk. I am your host, Michael Harrington from Thumbprint Experience. And today we are going to be talking about the ship, the Norwegian Encore. Originally, this ship was built in 2019, holds a little bit under 4,000 people, has 20 decks. 16 of those decks are accessible by the passengers, even though we have been trying to get to crew level for many, many years. Those who know what I'm talking about. So 11 of the decks have cabins. So out of those other 11, we have deck 6, 7, 8, and decks 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 that are going to be public area decks where it'll be bars, restaurants, shops, pools, jacuzzis, racetracks, things of that nature. But we're going to get into all of that this episode. We are going to go deck by deck, so that you know everything that you need to know about the Norwegian Encore, the location and home for 7 days of Rhythm and Soul 2027 Festival Cruise. The ship itself went through a dry dock in December of 2024. Yes. So December 2024 went through a dry dock, and if you don't know what a dry dock is where cruise line will take a ship out of service and they will change things like the carpet, maybe change the venue, add another dining venue, change how many chairs or deck areas you can have, or they might take something out, take out a club, put in a bear club, something of that nature. But it's always a refurbishment. There's a dry dock. They usually do them like every 4 to 5 years. Norwegian Encore went through theirs December 2024, excuse me. And some of the things that they did on their dry dock was they redesigned the Spice H2O, gave it a more, beachy deck feel, a little more deck chairs, expanded the bar. They expanded some balcony rooms, put 21 more balcony rooms on the ship, redesigned the haven, things of that nature. So as we're going through the decks, there are going to be some things that will be new to some of you if you sailed on the Norwegian Encore. I haven't been on the Norwegian Encore since 2021. I think that's the last time I was on the Encore. So we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. We're going to talk about some of my favorite spots to go to on the Encore. But that is what this episode is going to be all about. It is all about the ship. So that way, by the time we finish this episode, you will know everything that you need to know about the Norwegian Encore. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start at deck 20. Start from the top, work our way down. All right, so deck 20 is going to be an extension of deck 19, actually. Deck 20 is just the top level of the Vibe Beach Club. The Vibe Beach Club is a pay-to-play space for adults. You can do day passes, you can do a week-long pass. Typically, a day pass at the Vibe Beach Club is $99 per day, or you can do the week-long pass for $249. Now, what you get at the Vibe Beach Club is sort of a secluded area if you don't like the hustle and bustle of the main pool deck. You have sun deck, you have lounge chairs, you have your own bar, you'll have jacuzzis, and it's more of a more laid back environment if you just want to go up there and chill and not have to deal with the kids, not have to deal with people splashing in the pool. So if that's your vibe, if that's what you like, then the Vibe deck pass or Vibe Beach Pass is definitely perfect for you. Again, $99 per day, or you can do $249 for the entire cruise. But they do only have a limited number of passes for the Vibe Beach Club. They do sell out those very quickly. It is a popular spot. Now, as we move down to deck 19, it is a continuation of where the Vibe Beach Club, and actually the main area of the Vibe Beach Club, but you also have the Speedway, Norwegian Encore Speedway on deck 19, which is a 2-level go-kart racetrack. It's actually pretty cool. I do it every time I'm on the ship. I've had some of my fastest laps. I've had some run-ins with some unfortunate incidents where I might have got a little too aggressive. That's another story for another time. But if you do show up on the Rhythm and Soul Festival Cruise 2027, I will tell you all about how my wife got upset with me because of my aggressive nature on the go-karts. But that's on deck 20. Deck 19 is the Vibe Beach Pass and the Norwegian Encore Speedway. Now, it is an additional cost for the Speedway. It's but if you are on the Rhythm and Soul Festival Cruise, you will get a 1 ticket for that Speedway. If you're sailing and not with us or whatnot, and you want to do it, it's an additional $15. But you will get a ticket that's included in your package with the Rhythm and Soul Festival Cruise 2027, and then that's deck 20 and deck 19. So now we're going to move on to deck 18, which is going to be the lower level of the racetrack, the Norwegian Encore Speedway. Deck 18 is going to be the lower level, as well as on the other end of the ship, you're going to get Spice H2O. Spice H2O is another hangout spot. It has jacuzzis, sun deck chairs, big sun deck. With the refurbishment of Norwegian Encore in 2024, the Spice H2O deck took a whole new feel. More beach feel, more sun decks, more expanded bars, so more seats drinks and whatnot. I think this is actually going to be a good spot for a lot of people to hang out, especially when you have 3 sea days on the cruise. Good hangout spot. You can get some laughter in, some smiles, hang in a jacuzzi, listen to music, get you some drinks. So remember that Spice H2O on deck 18, as well as the first level of the Norwegian Speedway. So now we're going to move down to deck 17. Now on deck 17, you get a little bit more action. We start getting into some stuff. On deck 17, you're going to find the specialty restaurant Le Bistro, which is a French restaurant, French food, croissants and things of that nature. It's a gourmet restaurant, very nice restaurant, but it is a specialty restaurant, which you'll be able to use one of your specialty dinings if you choose to at the Le Bistro. On deck 17, you're going to get the American Diner and Bar. Now, this is a complimentary restaurant serving American foods, things like burgers, hot dogs, fries, and things of that nature. But it's got a 1950s diner feel to it, with the old school cars and the booths with the soda pops and milkshakes and things of that nature. But it's a real cool spot. That's on deck 17. You're also going to get the jogging track on deck 17. You're going to get some more hot tubs. When I say the jogging track, that track is going to go around the entire deck. Well, not necessarily entire deck, but that area where you'll be able to jog, walk, work off some of those pounds from the drinking and the eating. Also on deck 17, you're going to get the Galaxy Pavilion. Now, the Galaxy Pavilion is one of my favorite spots. It is a virtual reality pavilion. It has games that are interactive, games that require some challenge. driving games, you know, where you sit in Formula One cars. They have roller coasters where you virtual roller coaster. You can create your own roller coaster, things of that nature. And they also have a soccer goal where you go against a mechanical goalie trying to kick a goal in the soccer, which I did do. Also, there's footage of that, you know, so just low, there's footage. But yeah, so on deck 17, you have all of that. You also have the aqua park and some of the slides, the water slides and things on deck 17. Because so we start getting into some of the areas where, you know, it's a lot of people, you know, you'll get some kids in that area. Deck 17, you're going to get the American Diner and Bar. You're going to get Le Bistro. You're going to get the jogging track, sun deck, some hot tubs, Galaxy Pavilion. All right, here we are. We are at deck 16 now. Deck 16 is going to be your main outdoor area. It is where you're going to have the main pool, you're going to have the main jacuzzis. You're also going to get the garden cafe, which is where you'll get buffet food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You'll be able to also go to the Waves pool bar. There's also a nice little grill with some burgers and stuff on the outside. But the main pool deck with the jacuzzis, the sun deck, the sun chairs, that's all going to be found on deck 16 along with the garden cafe. A lot of action goes on in the main pool deck. Other thing that's going to be on that deck 16 is your Mandera Spa and Salon, the beauty salon, the barbershop, the thermal suite spa, all your, you know, salt rooms, your sauna, your steam rooms and things of that nature. All that will be on deck 16. So if you like the outdoors, if you like to be, you know, in the sun and whatnot, then go to deck 16. You'll be able to grab a sun deck chair, just hang out, listen to some music, get some drinks and some food, as well as eat at the buffet. But that's what's going to be all the outdoor areas on deck 16. All right, and as we continue moving down, we are going to move down to deck 15. This is a very simple area. It's one of my favorite areas. I spend a lot of time here. It is the observation lounge. The observation lounge has lounge chairs. It's where you can sit back and just enjoy 270 degrees of windows, ceiling to floor windows. It has a bar. It'll have some light music. You can sit back. You can play cards. You can just chill. I've even taken a nap in the recliners. They're so soft. But on deck 15, you can find the observation lounge, as well as some other cabins. There's going to be some cabins on deck 15, but for the most part, the observation lounge is the main attraction on 15. Again, floor to ceiling windows, bar, music, recliners, soft chairs, couches, just a spot to just chill, hang out. Not a lot of commotion on there. You can get some small bites every now and then, but deck 15 if you just like to have a good chill spot. All right, here we are. We are going to get into the next deck. We're actually going to skip over 14 through 9. Because 14 through 9 is going to be all staterooms. So your balconies, your interiors, your suites. There's no ocean views on 14 through 9. So those are going to be on the lower level. But we're going to go right to deck 8. Deck 8 is going to be the start of where a lot of the nighttime activities. You'll see a lot of the restaurants, a lot of the bars, a lot of the shows are going to be on deck 8. Starting with my favorite place, Food Republic. The Food Republic is a specialty dining restaurant where it's more of a la carte ordering, but large enough to share with someone. So if you do go to Food Republic, you'll think you can, order 4 items, do 3 items, but it'll be enough to share so everybody can get a taste of everything. Also on deck 8 is going to be Onda by Scarpetta, another specialty restaurant. Palomar, another specialty restaurant. The whiskey bar is on deck 8. The wine bar is on deck 8. A-list bar is on deck 8. Sugar Cane Mojito bar is on deck 8. District Brew House is on deck 8. So as you can see, a lot of bars on deck 8. Just to go over, the District Brew House is going to have over 1,000 different beers. There is a beer contest where you can try to taste every one of the beers through the course of the 7 days. Not drink a full beer, but taste every one of the beers. Also on deck 8, you're going to have the bake shop, gelato. The cigar lounge for my cigar smokers is going to be on deck 8. So you also get the waterfront. The waterfront, which goes around the entire ship, is a lounging dining area, depending on where it's at. If it's outside of a bar, it's a lounge. If it's outside of a restaurant, it's where you can eat and drink during the sunset, during the ocean breeze, cool air. It's real cool. Again, it wraps around the ship. It's called the waterfront. A lot of picturesque moments out there on the waterfront. But on deck 8, you're going to get, again, a lot of restaurants, a whole lot of bars on deck 8. So I'm sure I'll see a lot of you guys on deck 8. But that's deck 8. So now we're going to move on. All right. So for deck 7, there is not going to be a lot of stuff, but a lot of action. I'm going to say that. So deck 7, you're going to have my second favorite place to be on the ship, and that is the local. Now, the local is on the Encore. For those of you that were on 2026, it is formerly known as O'Sheehan's. Same layout, but a different decor, different color scheme, but you still have the bar, you still have the restaurant, but it's now called the local. So that is my second favorite place. And if you were on Rhythm and Soul Festival Cruise 2026, you know why we like O'Sheehan's. You know why we'll love the local. Also on deck 7 is Manhattan Dining. Manhattan Dining Room is where you're going to another complimentary restaurant where you can get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Lunch in Manhattan is only going to be on sea days, I believe. They do a lunch in the Manhattan. You're also going to get the Skyline Bar, which is attached to the casino, which is also on deck 7. So you have your Skyline Bar where you can watch, sports and whatnot, but it's also right next door to the casino. So the two sort of intertwine into each other. Also on deck 7 will be the theater, where they'll have all their Broadway shows. We'll get more into what shows they're going to have in the theater in the later episodes. But that's going to be deck 7. So again, you have the local bar and grill, you have the casino, you have the Skyline Bar, you have Manhattan Dining Room, and you have the theater. Now we're going to move into deck number 6. Deck 6 is a little it's sort of like deck 8 and deck 7 combined. It's got the bars, it's got the complimentary restaurants, as well as some specialty dining. So on deck 6, you're going to get the spots where you can get breakfast and dinner, the Savor and the Taste. Now there are two restaurants. They are very similar. Just one's called Savor, it's on the left hand side. One's called Taste, it's on the right hand side. Another spot that I love is the Q Texas Barbecue. They have great food, great brisket, great corn. The jalapeno cornbread is delicious. But again, I don't want to get ahead of myself here. I'm starting to talk about food. You know how I get. But and then Teppanyaki is going to be on deck 6. You're also going to get the nightclub, the comedy club, the Starbucks, the mixed bar, the atrium bar. All that's going to be on deck 6. Again, a combination of 8 and 7, but you still have your specialty restaurants, you still have your clubs, you got your bars. So as you can see, 8, 7, and 6 is going to be a lot of action, a lot of nighttime activities. I'm sure that's where a lot of us are going to be during the nighttime. But again, that's going to wrap up what we're going to talk about as far as the ship. Now, I didn't do deck 5, but deck 5 is where you're going to have your ocean views and the children's areas, such as camps and all that. But again, this is an adult-only Rhythm and Soul Festival, so we don't deal with children. All right, so as we close out deck number 6, also remember that you can also get guest services, you can get shore excursion help, you can get cruise next help, the internet, the atrium lobby, the big screen TV, all of that is also on deck 6. And that's going to conclude our overview of the Norwegian Encore. Next week, we will again see you at the same time, Thursday, 8 p.m. Please like, share, subscribe, Share the podcast with people that you're going on the cruise with, people that you want to go on the cruise with. Share the podcast with people who were thinking about going on the cruise that you might not know. So please share, subscribe, like, book your cabins, get registered. Also, remember, if you have already booked, first payment is coming up April the 1st. Payment is due April the 1st. Remember that. As well as deposits will increase after the April 1st as we go through these payment guidelines. With every payment guideline, the deposit increases so that we all stay on track for our final payment date. Thank you again for joining us. Peace out.